Hey everybody, Ryan Reed here, and this is the first face-to-face video, or I guess like face-to-camera video I've recorded since everything has changed. A lot of the videos I was putting out had been pre-recorded because I was traveling. I was visiting family in California, and then everything, in the world changed, and everyone's under lockdown now, so I just wanted to kind of quickly say, I hope that everyone is safe out there. I hope that you are taking care of yourself, both physically and mentally. Sometimes we kind of forget the latter, and that's just as important as the physical aspect. So just everybody, please take care of yourselves. But that's not why you're here. You're here because you want to see a review. And I have a review today for Onward, the new Disney Pixar movie. Now, this movie I originally kind of debated on doing a review for because I was like, well, it's been out for a while, and I mean, and I'm sure everybody's seen it, but I'm actually not seeing as much praise for this movie as I actually think it really deserves. So I thought, well, even though it's been out for a while, why not? Let's do a quick review on Onward. When Onward came out, it came out right before everything kind of started changing and movie theaters started shutting down. So it was really only out for about a week or so before they had to kind of like pull it out of theaters, or even if they didn't pull it out of theaters, theaters were closed. So it really did not do super well at the box office, and that's unfortunate because I think Onward is actually a really solid new Pixar movie. And so luckily Disney did decide that they wanted to put it out early on video on demand, and then a week later they put it out on Disney Plus for free on April 3rd. Of course, if you have a Disney Plus subscription, you can check it out. So that's around the time that I decided to finally watch it. It was a film I had actually really wanted to see. I thought that the film looked like a lot of fun. New Pixar, you've got Chris Pratt, you've got Tom Holland, you've got a really good cast, so I was like, yeah, I'm on board. But didn't get a chance to see it, unfortunately, so sat down and watched it at home. And in case you haven't seen Onward yet, or haven't seen anything about Onward, it's the new Disney Pixar film. Pixar obviously being the production company, Disney being the distribution company, as it's been with Pixar for many, many years now. The film takes place in a fantasy world where at one point magic kind of controlled everything until modern technology was kind of developed. And now their world looks a lot like ours. They have cars and chain restaurants, and there's a funny bit where unicorns are like getting into the garbage, and it's very, very kind of tongue-in-cheek, taking a fantasy world and applying our modern world to it. The movie revolves around two brothers who are also elves. The main character is Ian, the younger brother, played by Tom Holland, and Barley, the older brother, played by Chris Pratt. And the movie's ultimately about how, at a very young age, these two brothers lost their dad. Barley has a few memories of his father, and Ian never actually got to meet his dad, so it is a dream of his to finally get to talk to him, and they get that opportunity when they acquire a magic staff passed down from their dad, which can hopefully bring their dad back. And through some situations, some complications, they're only able to bring back half of him, and so now they're on a journey to bring back their entire father before their 24 hours is up. And that's really where the film is at its best, is this really strong emotional core that the movie has. There are some things that the film does incredibly well without breaking the mold. Of course, the animation is beautiful, the voice acting is really great, the comedy lands fairly well, and all of this is stuff that Pixar is good at. And I think what the film does and what makes it special and different from other Pixar movies is this emotional weight that the film has. Now, that's not to say Pixar has not delivered true emotional moments throughout their entire career. I mean, I still think Up is one of the most beautiful, emotional movies I've ever seen, and this film kind of does that, but it does it in a more almost subtle way, and that's really not what I was completely expecting. The relationship between the two brothers is really solid and very honest and very true. And I think the smart thing that Onward does is that it lets those emotional things sink in without kind of hitting you over the head with them. There are some early scenes with Ian where we get to kind of see, how he deals with not having a dad and how much he wants to have a dad. And the mom in the movie is not just your typical, oh, my kids are in trouble type of mom. She actually kind of is encouraging them to go on this journey while also still trying to help them out and save them and all this stuff. So it's really well-rounded in terms of the character arcs as well as the emotional weight that the film has. And those emotional moments really sneak up on you, like I was talking about. They're there, but when I was watching the film, I was like, okay, cool, this is enjoyable. I can see, I can kind of feel for the characters and that type of thing. But by the end of the movie, normally I go into a Pixar movie and I expect, I'm going to get emotional, I'm going to cry, or whatever. But going into this movie and watching it, I was like, okay, yeah, it's emotional. And then the film kind of, without spoiling anything, has an amazing ending. The ending of this movie is so good in that it easily could have been sugar-coated. And instead what we get is a more true, honest, bittersweet ending. And I think that's where the movie is at its strongest, when we're at this core family dynamic. And it works in that regard. Is the rest of the movie fun? Absolutely. Like I said, there's laughs to be had. The animation's beautiful. The movie moves along at a quick pace. But really, it's these kind of emotional beats that I don't feel like I saw a lot of discussion about in the reviews. A lot of the reviews I saw were kind of like, it's a good Pixar movie, it's not one of their best. And, I can kind of understand that, but I think there's something way more grounded in this movie. Again, without going into too many spoilers, but if you've seen the trailer for the movie, again that, and I already talked about it earlier, that their dad passed away. And the way that the movie treats that is very, very, very true to real life. Even though this is a fantasy universe, they talk about the fact that their dad got sick and was in the hospital, and it's not treated like, oh, it was a magical thing that happened to him, like he disappeared, or, he was fighting a beast or something. No, this is a very honest, true, heartbreaking thing, but it's not treated where the movie doesn't treat it like this is a moment to be sad. It treats it like this is something that happened. And, it's something that a lot of people have to go through. And I think the way that the film handles those moments, those beats, is so, this is a dumb way to put it, but it's so mature. It doesn't handle it with we need to pull back because we don't want to upset anybody. But it doesn't also make it emotional manipulation, if that makes sense. It's not there to make you cry. It's just there to be honest and be like, this is what happened to these characters. And it's sad, but it's in the past, and this is how we can deal with it. And so the movie's really, really smart with how it handles all of that stuff. And so because of that, when those emotional beats happen, for me at least, they hit me without me realizing it. It snuck up on me. And then once we got to the ending, that's when everything just hit me really hard. And especially if you have siblings, I think this film will really hit you on an emotional level. And I've said emotional a lot in this review, but that's the best way to put it. Now, there are some things that don't quite work in the movie, and it's not that they're bad. There's a revelation that happens with one of the characters way late in the movie, and I actually think we would have benefited from having that earlier. There's also some kind of flashbacks that I think even kind of, maybe teasing moments with framed photos or something like that, maybe would have given us more importance to what happens later on towards the end of the movie with these kind of flashbacks. But that said, they do their job. Everything in the movie does its job properly, and it gets us to that point we need to. And I think overall this is a really, really solid Pixar movie. And I guarantee if you check it out, it probably is going to become somebody's favorite Pixar movie there is, because they really do connect with the messages in it. And that's why I think more people should check it out. I think it shouldn't become a forgotten Pixar movie. We've gotten a few of those already. Nobody cares about the Good Dinosaur, is that what it was called? Or The Last Dinosaur? No one cares about that one, and nobody cares about, you know, like Cars 2 and things like that. I'm sure somebody does, but I'm just saying, this isn't one of those Pixar movies that should just kind of be forgotten or just kind of like, yeah, that was good. I really do think people should invest some time and check this out. Plus, if you have Disney Plus, it's free. So there's literally no harm in checking out the movie and watching it through. Spend 90 minutes, you know, in a fantasy world instead of watching Tiger King like everybody on the planet has been doing. But anyway, besides the point. That's just kind of a quick overview of Onward. Again, check it out if you get the opportunity. And if you want to see more videos like this, check out some more of my Impromptu reviews. I've got all kinds of film reviews on there. You can also check out Fright Films, which is my horror movie kind of analytical show where I break movies down. And I do have some new episodes of that planned and coming out soon. I know it's been a little bit, but with everything going on, all the craziness, I've kind of been taking some time to myself as well while still getting videos out, so I want to make sure that I start working on some more of those. But in the meantime, check out the old episodes and also check out some of my food reviews, all kinds of good stuff on the channel. So definitely subscribe if you enjoyed this, and if you want to see more, let me know in the comments down below. I'll talk to you later. Bye.